The front door clicked open. You looked up from the couch. I saw him entering from the room. You didn't lock the door again? Oh, I must have forgotten. Removing his coat. You always do. He walked past you without a second glance. How was your day? Tiring, not looking at you. You followed him to the kitchen. Did you eat dinner? Yes, I'll eat later. You always say that, but never do. Looked at you and let out the sign, then walked to the table. You were setting down his plate. I made this stir fried mushroom you like. He didn't say anything and just ate quietly. Do you like it? He didn't bother to answer you instead. There is dinner at my parents' house tomorrow, 7 sharp. Again? Do I have to go? Ting looked straight at you. Don't start again. And yes, you are my wife. You have to be there. One in mind. Now you remember that I'm your wife. And wear something decent. You know how my mother gets. Always do. Not always. Silence. Just sound of them eating. By the way, when are you planning to go back to work? One blink. This is the last thing you wanted to discuss right now. I'm still thinking about it. I've been thinking for 4 months. I just needed time, that's all. Time for what? You didn't reply. Look down. He let out the breath. I'm going to study. Then he left. As always, no anger, no yelling, just cold. It has been a year since you married him, but he always like this with you, always cold and silent. It was an arranged marriage by your parents and his grandmom, who used to love you, but she passed away, and his other family hates you, especially his mom. She always says something hurting to you and does not like. She always bothers you with your family background, not giving her grandchildren. But now recently you are not having job too, which is the last thing you wanna hear. 4 months ago at work, your boss tried to touch you in a bad way, even forced you. That's the reason you left the job and hadn't been able to do any job or even think about that. You didn't tell anyone, not even Taehyung. The thought of you sharing with him does not fit right when he is this distant from you. One in mind. It's fine. It's just a dinner. Ting walked in first, didn't even slow down for you. You followed him as he was already removing his coat, handing it to a butler. Taehyung hugs him. You are here. It's been so long since I saw this handsome face. Taehyung gave little nod. Then her gaze fell on Ryan. Oh, Ryan, you are here too. She gave a slight smile. It's nice to see you out of the home. I see you are still not working. Yeah, Mrs. Kim cuts her off. You must have been tired, my son. Your father is in lounge, waiting for you, and some of your cousins just arrived. Go on. Ting turned and left as you followed him down the hall like shadow. You walked faster to catch up, your heels clicking against the floor until you reached the lounge and just stood behind him. Ting was already seated, speaking with his dad, his cousin Cheon, and Jiho's husband Min Jun. Man, I still don't know how you pulled off Singapore tail. I swear it was falling apart. Ting smirked, glass in his hand. You should stop doubting me. His voice was warm, so different from the way he talks to you. Wan just sat beside Taeyong, not sure really what to do. He didn't even glance at her, not once. You know, Hyung, when I get married, I hope my wife lets me work in peace. Yeah, you got lucky day. Quiet house, quiet wife, and company that runs itself. What more could a man want? One hand scrolled lightly around her purse. Ting didn't say anything. Kim's voice suddenly rang out from the dining room. Everyone, dinner is served. Ting stood, glasses still in his hand. He walked again without a glance, without a gesture. Ran forward like a shadow she always does. Everyone was having a dinner. You just silently sat beside him. So Taeyong, how is soul expansion going? Cutting into the steak. Handled. Of course, my son meant to lead the family, he said proud. And Ryan, looking at you. Are you back to work yet? She hasn't, placing his glass down. It's been 4 months. 4? Damn. Here I thought she had her own career path. Didn't Ting always say he hated clingy girls, the one who sits home and do nothing? Everyone laughs except Wan and Taeyong. You wanted to disappear from there. The pain on your chest was too heavy, but again, his cousin spoke. Taeyong, by the way, you remember Sosin, right? Your breath caught hearing his ex name. Mrs. Kim. Oh yes, Sojin, such a lovely girl, beautiful, elegant. Her father owns 3 hospitals now, I believe. She came by last week to drop off a gift. She is still unmarried, and she asked about you. Ting didn't flinch, didn't react. I'm married. His tone was cold. No glance at you. He just took a bite of his food, calmly. Yes, but sometimes the right people just meet at the wrong time. A few chuckles rose around the table. One blinked slowly, her appetite sinking. Her fingers gripped the napkin on her lap tighter. Mrs. Kim looking directly at you now. But of course, every woman is different. Susan always carried herself like a true lady, and she had a solid family, a real background. Her mother was diplomatic, if I recall correctly. From where again, one? A small town, wasn't it? But I suppose every house needs a balance. Jihoon let a quiet laugh into her wine glass. Wan whispered, even though your throat tightens listening to the talking about you. Yes, ma'am, that's right. I just believe in having roots, that's all. Stability, legacy. I suppose it's different these days, especially with her eyes flickered into one's plate, untouched. Girls who don't even keep themselves strong. You have gotten thinner, haven't you, dear? One looked down. I have just been a bit tired lately. Tired and still no grandchildren inside? When Susan was your age, Taehyung and Susan are a little older than you. She looked radiant, healthy. She had those hips. You could tell she was ready to be a mother. But you look so weak. Looks like body won't even able to handle. One throat tightened. Her food remained untouched. She turned slightly towards Taeyong, hoping he would say something, defend her, a word, a glance, anything. But he sat quietly, focused on his plate. He took a slow sip of wine, chewed, didn't even raise his eyes, didn't even notice the look on her face. Table laughed again. Talk shifted to some business tale, a cousin's honeymoon in Switzerland, a new yacht. One stayed quiet, her appetite long gone, but her place at the table remained full of silence, of shame, of husband who made her feel utterly alone. The car moved through the sleek road in a suffocating silence. Thing's hand on steering wheel, eyes fixed ahead, the low hum of the engine the only sound between them. One sat beside him, her forehead resting against the cold glass of the window, watching the raindrops, but in your mind every word from the dinner echoed like a needle inside your chest. Your body is too big to carry a child. Thing's ex was elegant, classy, not so fragile. He used to hate women like this. She doesn't even have a career anymore. Her hands clenched, and Taehyung, he had just sat there, eating, laughing. Not once did he look at her. Wait, why? Why didn't he say anything? She closed her eyes. It was eating her alive. Gathering every ounce of broken courage, she finally whispered, why didn't you say anything? Taehyung didn't even glance her way. Say what? One slowly turned to face him, her voice trembling. At dinner, when they were talking about me like that, about my body, my family, my background, Taehyung's jaw tensed. I didn't want to make things worse. One let out a bitter laugh. Worse? They compared me to your ex, said I looked too weak to have a child. They practically told me I wasn't worthy of your last name. I know what they said, he replied coldly. Then, why didn't you stop them? You demanded. Why did you just sit there like I wasn't even your wife? Things gripped on a will tighter. Because it would have turned into a scene. Oh, right. God forbid your dinner gets uncomfortable. Much better to let your wife get shredded in front of everyone. I didn't want to embarrass you. You let them strip every ounce of dignity I had, and you call them not embarrassing? Her voice rose. Before Taehyung could respond, the car suddenly slowed. The road ahead was flooded, blocked by the downed tree and heavy water. He cursed under his breath, pulling the car into the side. "We're stuck," he muttered. One fold her arms across her chest, shivering due to cold. Her dress was thin. Taehyung noticed. Without a word, he unfastened his coat and tossed it across her lap. But you didn't even look at him. His returned, thicker now, like the air was suffocating them. The thing broke it coldly. "Should I have known how to fit in? I can't defend you every time someone opens their mouth." One head snapped towards him. "Is that what you think I have been doing? Failing to fit in?" "You come from a different world, Ryan," he said tightly. "You walk like you don't belong there. You speak like you are apologizing for existing. What do you expect them to think?" "I have been trying," you choked. "God, all I have ever done is try to match up your world, try to be enough for your name. But no matter how hard I try, I'm never enough, am I?" His silence was the answer. One chest heaved. "And you? You never once made it easier. Just cold shoulder and adjustment." Thing ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. "You stopped working. You shut down. What was I supposed to think?" Said. That was the moment she broke. "I didn't stop working because I wanted to," she shouted. "You want the truth, Taehyung? You really want it?" He stared at her, breath frozen. One voice trembled, but the words burst out of like a scream torn from her soul. "4 months ago, my boss, he tried to touch me. He tried to force himself on me in his office. Things eyes widen. I ran. I ran out and never went back. I couldn't. Her voice cracked. I couldn't tell anyone, not even you." Spread hitched. He did. That night he waited, pacing. He had been worried. She had come home late with the red eyes, shaking hands, and he walked away. He hadn't asked. He thought she was tired. "If I had known," he whispered, "I would have destroyed that company." One let the tears fall, no longer being able to hold them back. I was scared, and now tonight, when they mocked me for not working, for being weak, do you know what that felt like? She broke down, fully sobbing now. Then couldn't take it anymore. He reached out, pulled her across the console, cradling her in his lap. His arms wrapped around her tightly, his chin on her trembling shoulder. She was light, too fragile, which didn't go unnoticed by Theo. Clung to his shirt, tears soaking through his collar. "I'm cold, Theo. I'm so cold." Ting pressed his hand gently to the back of her head, lips trembling as he kissed her temple. "I got you now. I swear I got you." With the one hand, he reached for his phone and dialed. "Appa, send another car. We are stuck, and she's freezing." Within a minute, a black SUV pulled up behind them. Rain still poured like a hell in the door, slitting her with his own coat, then scooped her into his arms. She crawled against his chest, still shaking. He placed her in the back seat, but she didn't move from his lap. Her fingers were still clutching his shirt, his arms around her, holding her like the one thing he never wanted to lose. As the driver pulled away, Thing rested his cheeks against her head, his hands rubbing her back, eyes open and filled with guilt, filled with rage. Quietly on the edge of the bed, her body wrapped in a thick robe, her hair still slightly damp. He brought them to hotel because going to his parents after what happened in the car didn't felt right, and the roads were still blocked to their house. Things stood near the window, speaking on a phone. "Yeah, destroy that hand corporation. I want them ripped off the board tonight. I don't care how. Make it happen." Voice wasn't the cold this time. It was dangerous. His jaw clenched, his eyes dark as he entered the call. Juan finally looked at him, her voice barely above the whisper. Maybe I overreacted. I shouldn't have said all that. I'm sorry. He turned, quick, too quick. You're sorry? His voice cracked slightly, eyebrow knitting. You're saying sorry after what happened? He walked closer, gaze locked on her. Where's that Juan? From the car, huh? The one who finally said something? Doctor, unable to face him again. I didn't want to make things worse. Then, without a frustrated breath, a hand went through his wet hair. God, I hate when you do that. When you shrink a back like this, you're too soft sometimes, too. But before he could even finish, his phone rang again. He answered it. What? He turned slightly away from you, his voice low, harsh. No, that's final. Pull that partnership. I want every deal off the table. When he ended the call and turned back, your eyes were wide. It's fine, please don't do this. Stepping forward hesitantly. Not for me. That was it. He snapped. No, it's not fine. Thing's voice raised, anger swelling in his chest. Nothing about this is fine. You, he pointed, frustrated. You went through all this, of that, and didn't even tell me? Not a word? He walked closer, shaking his head. I know I've been a jerk, cold, but did you think of so low of me that you couldn't even tell me this, huh? I'm your husband, damn it. That still means something, doesn't it? Trembled, she broke again. Sobs shook her body. I'm sorry, I was scared. I didn't want to burden you. And there was a final crack in his heart. His voice raised. What are you sorry for, Ryan? He yelled, eyes furious, broken at all at once. For him touching you? For me not being good with you? Or for my mother treating you like a shit at the dinner? Clenched at his voice and looked down. I'm sorry, I'm not like your ex. Things chest tightened. I'm not strong like her. I don't have a fancy career. I don't belong with you. I'm just weak. You had to carry me like a burden tonight. I'm sorry for being so. Stop! He breathed heavy. Then he dropped his knees in front of her, gently holding her hands. Don't you ever say that again, he whispered. You're my wife, you hear me? Mine. And no, you're not weak. He pulled you close, pressing his forehead to yours. You're stronger than anyone I have known, because despite everything, you kept trying. You didn't tell anyone what that meant to you. You were protecting everyone, even me. That's not weak, Ryan. That's brave. Her tears fell again. He cupped her cheeks, soft now, gentle. From now on, I'm here in every step. You don't need to carry this alone anymore. Just come to me. Please come to me. She nodded slowly, her bottom lip trembling. Then he gently stood up, looked at her. You didn't eat at dinner. One blinked in surprise. You noticed? He let out a small breath, walking towards the table where he had ordered room service. Of course I noticed, he murmured. You barely touched anything, she said quietly as he brought the food towards her. He didn't ask. He just started feeding her gently. You need to eat. You need strength. No one's ever going to say you are too skinny or weak again. Not while I'm with you. You took each bite slowly. Then pulled you into him afterwards, wrapping his arms tightly around your waist. I'll be better, he murmured into her hair. I promise. I'll be husband you can count on, who listens, who protects. I'll be better. For you. They stayed wrapped in each other. The storm was still outside, but for once you felt safe with him. In his arms, like the world does not matter. Him is what you craved for.